What's up guys, my name is Spencer, welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, this is my 2020 Tacoma TRD off-road, and if you didn't know, I'm a bit of a dash cam nerd. Just actually picked up a new one here. This is from a company called Vantrue. Actually, I've never used them before, so I'm excited to see what the quality of this looks like. This is their N4 model. Figured I'd give it a quick little unboxing, get it installed in the truck, and then show you guys some footage. Alright guys, so here's everything laid out for you to see. We've got the front camera unit, the suction cup mount, the front camera's power cord. We've got the rear camera, and then the cable that communicates and connects the front to the rear. So this one is the one that's going to be sort of the trickiest, but it's not too bad. We're going to run it from the front to the back inside my truck. Alright, so I've done a lot of dash cam installs guys, and it's really straightforward. A lot of people are a little bit nervous when it comes to it, but let me show you how easy it is. First things first, we're going to connect the power. For this one, it just plugs into the 12-volt outlet. Really easy. Depending on your vehicle though, you want to make sure that outlet is close enough so that this wire can reach the way we route it up to the top of the windshield. And then the way I like to route this wire is usually under the glove box. I always like the passenger side, it's just more spacious, easier to route wires through. Under the glove box, and you'll see this weather stripping right on the side of the door. It's like this on every single vehicle made. You'll notice that when I put my fingers here, I can get this stripping up just a little bit. Tuck the wire in there, go all the way from the bottom, all the way to the top. And then I like to cross over just right at the top of this pillar. So it's not obstructing anything, but it's just right at the top. Nothing's up there, the very tip. You can kind of get a better idea here. Then I'll route the wire through the top of the headliner. Again, if you just use your fingers, you can actually, get in there. It's quite easy. Once you've got that wire all routed up through there, we can install the dash cam. Every vehicle is a little bit different, so just do your best to hide that wire, tuck it in behind panels, weather stripping on the side, on the pillar, roof liner, all the way until you've got it at the top and it looks nice and clean. Next, we need to attach the suction cup mount onto the camera. So there it goes. And what's really nice about this Vantrue is the suction cup mount has a locking mechanism here. So as you can see, that rotates, and it is what causes the suction cup to hold itself into position. Next, what I'm going to do is just position and mount the dash camera, securing it to the inside of the windshield. Don't forget to rotate that locking mechanism on the suction cup to secure it in place. Once we've got the camera in position on the windshield, all we have to do is bring down that power cable that's hanging from the top. Now for this camera, the power cable plugs into the suction cup mounting bracket. So go ahead and plug that in. On the side of the camera, you'll see a port that's called rear. That's the port we need to plug in the rear cable that's going to connect to the rear camera. Now the way I normally like to run these wires from the front camera to the back camera is through the top headliner. Typically I'll tuck it in at the top and then run it down the back of the headliner to the rear. But for the Tacoma, it's a little bit different, and I didn't find it that easy to go through the top. So what I did is I went back through the headliner, and then instead of going through the top here, I ran it back down that same weather stripping all the way to the bottom, and then I put the wire underneath this here, all the way to the back, and then that wire can come right up here. Now if you're doing this install on a truck, you want to make sure you run that wire on the side that you're going to mount the camera to, or else you might not have enough length. Depending on the way that rear window opens, choose which side you want to mount the camera to. For the Tacoma, I actually chose this side, and I mount my camera on the very closest to the window, so I can still open that middle window and it goes just to the point where it needs to. Once you've got that cable routed to the rear, we're gonna have to connect the rear camera, so it actually just plugs in here like this, and then we can peel back the 3M and mount our camera. It's really straightforward, like I said guys, just stick it onto the window there and you're set. Once you've got everything installed, you do need a little micro SD card. We're gonna plug in, just goes right into the side here. And then we can turn our vehicle on. Next is the setup, so run through that quickly, set up the date, time, language, all that. So now that we've got everything powered up and it works, we'll go for a little test drive and see what the footage looks like. Okay, so just out for a bit of a drive and you guys can see some of the image quality here. I figured I would give you a quick rundown of the specs. You've got a 1440p Sony Starvis sensor in the main front camera, as well as 1080p sensors in the cabin and the rear, all of them at 30 frames per second. So technically this is a 3-channel dash cam, which is really nice, as I've mentioned, for rideshare companies like Uber or Lyft, or if you're a taxi. With that said, the cabin and the rear cameras can be turned off, so it is adjustable. It also has a super capacitor, which means that it's heat resistant. So you can run this camera on long road trips and it's not gonna overheat and it's not gonna end up burning itself out. It does have an emergency kind of protection mode, so in the event of a crash or an impact, the camera will detect those G-forces and it'll actually save that clip in a different folder where that clip cannot be deleted unless you actually format the card on a computer. So that's a really nice peace of mind and protection to have. Overall, really nice looking unit. I'm quite impressed with it. As always, Sony Starvis sensors are so nice. If you guys want to check out this camera, head on over to Vantrue's website. I'll have a link down below in the description for where you can pick up this model. And with that said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here now and I will see you in my next video.